Hello everyone. So in the last lecture we did some important rules related to conjunctions. So in today's lecture we will continue further and do some more rules and even solve a few practice questions related to conjunctions. So let's start with our lecture. So in the last lecture we completed such, that and such as. Now moving on, we'll continue further with some more rules. So our next rule is although / though. Now although and though are always used with yet or comma. So they are used in pair with either yet or a comma. So although or though is used to show two contrary conditions, or you can say quality of a subject. So now let us take an example. Although he is rich, yet he is a miser. Though he is my friend, comma, I cannot help criticizing his speech. Or instead of comma, you can also use yet. So the sentence would be, though he is my friend, yet I cannot help criticizing his speech. Now next, as soon as is always used with a comma. So always keep this in mind. As soon as is always used with a comma. Let us take an example. As soon as the peon rings the first bell, then all the students assemble on the ground for the PT. So is this sentence correct? No. Here as soon as is used. So as we did with as soon as, we always use a comma, but over here then is used, which is wrong. Hence instead of then we will use a comma. So the correct sentence would be, as soon as the peon rings the first bell, comma, all the students assemble on the ground for PT. As soon as the peon rings the first bell, comma, all the students assemble on the ground for PT. Now next rule, as and so as. Now as it is used to express mere equality, comma, similarity. So it is always used in a affirmative sense, in a positive sense. So whereas so as is used to express a contrast, comma, dissimilarity. So hence it is used in a negative sense. That is to show a certain quality is found in a higher degree than the one compared with. So let us understand this with the help of an example. Audi R8 is as fast as Ferrari. Now next sentence, Audi R8 is not. Now again, as we did, so as is used in a negative sentence. So Audi R8 is not so fast as Ferrari. I am not, again not is used, so we will use so as. I am not so strong now as I was in 2001. So moving on, next is because, since, for and as. So now these are all used to define a reason. Now of all these conjunctions, because shows the strongest cause. So because shows the strongest cause. For and as, they show the weakest cause. And since comes in between the two. Now let us understand this with the help of an example. I did not go to school dash it was raining. And the second sentence, I did not go to school dash I was ill. So first try solving it on your own. So is it done? Now let's discuss. I did not go to school as or for. Both are correct. So as it was raining, or you can say for it was raining. So both of them are correct. And the next sentence, I did not go to school because I was ill. So now as you can see, in the first sentence, the reason for not going to school was that it was raining, right? Which is a very weak reason. If it was raining, one could use a car or even a bus to travel, or you can use a raincoat and so on. So it's just a lame excuse, or you can say a reason that could be avoided. Hence we will use for or as in this sentence. Whereas in the next sentence, the reason for not going to school is illness, which is a strong reason. Hence we will use because over here. Now, moving on with our next rule, which is while. So while, it is a conjunction usually of time. It is used to mean during the time that, as long as, or throughout. So, for example, strike while the iron is hot. The little girl was playing while her brother watched her play. Now, one important thing, sometimes while is used to show contrast. So now, while can be used in two ways. It is usually used with time, but sometimes it can be used to show contrast. For example, Krishna sang while Radha danced. Mohan worked while Sohan was idling away his time. So basically the last two sentences are showing contrast. So now let's solve a few questions based on the rules of conjunctions we just discussed. So as usual, I will give you some time to solve. Now let's begin. So is it done? Let's discuss. Your success in IAS examinations depends not only on what papers you have selected, but on how you have written them. So the grammatical error lies in option C. As we studied earlier in rules of conjunctions, not only is a correlative conjunction, hence it would be used in pair. Thus, not only is always used with but also. So, not only is always used with but also. Also remember, it is followed by the same parts of speech. So, now let's check the given sentence. So, as you can see, not only is here used with but, which is wrong. It is always used with but also. Hence, we will add also over here. So, the correct sentence is, your success in IAS examinations depends not only on what papers you have selected, but also on how you have written them. Now, moving on, let's solve another question. So, is it done? Let's tally. None of the diplomats at the conference was able either to comprehend or solve the problem. So, the error lies in option B. Now, as we know, either is a correlative conjunction, hence it is always used in pair with or, and it is followed by the same part of speech. So, in the given sentence, either is used, right? and it is used with or. So then first condition is satisfied. Now let's check the second condition, which is it is followed by the same parts of speech. Now after either, preposition to is used, whereas after or, verb is used. Hence it is not followed by the same parts of speech. So now what we will do? We will remove to after either and place it before either. Now after either also verb is used, and after or also verb is used. So the correct sentence would be, none of the diplomats at the conference was able to either comprehend or solve the problem. So comprehend is also a verb and solve is also a verb. Hence it is followed by the same parts of speech. Now next, solve this. Is it done? Let's find out the error. Because he is intelligent, therefore he gets good marks in all the examinations. So grammatical error lies in option B. So we never use therefore with because. So here is an important rule: because, since and as. These are all your conjunctions of reasons, hence therefore is not used with them. Hence the correct sentence should be, because he is intelligent, comma, he gets good marks in all the examinations. Now moving on, next, solve this. Let's discuss. No sooner she had realized her blunder than she began to take corrective measures. So the error lies in option A. So here no sooner is used. We discussed this rule when we did the rules of conjunctions. Let's recall it again. No sooner is a correlative conjunction. It is used in pair with than, and the following format is used. No sooner plus helping verb plus subject 1 plus action, first action plus than plus followed by subject 2 and then your action 2. So this is the format that is followed. No sooner followed by helping verb, followed by first subject, followed by first action, followed by than, followed by subject 2 and then your second action. So now let's check whether the given sentence is following this format or not. So as you all can see, first comes your no sooner, then comes your helping verb. But here after no sooner, subject has been used, which is incorrect. She is your subject. So it is incorrect. Thus we will swap these two because had is your verb. Hence we will swap them in order to make the sentence correct. Thus the correct sentence would be, no sooner had she realized her blunder than she began to take corrective measures. So now next question, solve this. So is it done? Let's find out the error. He was not so well versed in English that we had expected. So the grammatical error lies in option C. Now, so is used with that as well as. Now, so that is used when there is a purpose, whereas so as is used to express a contrast, or you can say a dissimilarity. So it is used in a negative sense. So in the above sentence, not is used, which is a negative word. Also, the sentence is expressing a contrast, dissimilarity. Hence, instead of so that, so as will be used. Hence, we will replace that with as. So the correct sentence is, he was not so well versed in English as we had expected. Now next, solve this. So is it done? Let's discuss. I am doubtful that my parents will allow me to go to the party. So the error lies in option A. So here's an important rule. Please learn this rule. So in case of affirmative sentences, doubt / doubtful is used with if / whether, and in case of negative sentence, negative in the sense that is when not is used, that is, for example, you can say when not is used. Or interrogative sentences, so now in case of negative or interrogative sentence, doubt / doubtful is always used with that. So always keep this rule in mind. So now coming back to the question, since the above question is neither a negative sentence nor an interrogative sentence with doubtful, that will not be used. Hence we will replace that with if or whether. Yeah, both of them can be used. So the correct sentence would be, I am doubtful if my parents will allow me to go to the party, or you can say, I am doubtful whether my parents will allow me to go to the party. Now next, so is it done? Let's tally. The captain asked the player to play well lest they would lose the game. So the error lies in option C. Lest is always used with should. Lest is always used with should. We studied this rule earlier also. Hence, a correct sentence should be, The captain asked the player to play well lest they would. So would is wrong. It is always used with should. So the correct one is should. The captain asked the player to play well lest they should lose the game. Now next, solve this. So is it done? Let's discuss. Scarcely had the director started the shoot that the actors got engaged in a bitter banter and eventually things turned violent. So grammatical error lies in option B. Now, scarcely is a correlative conjunction and hence it is used in pair. Scarcely is always used with when. Hence, we will replace that with when. Therefore, the correct sentence should be scarcely had the director started the shoot when the actors got engaged in a bitter banter and eventually things turned violent. Moving on. Let's tally. So, such goods are made for export and are seldom or ever used in the country. So, the error lies in option D. Now, here is an important rule, note it down. Seldom is used with or and if. So, now if seldom is used with or, then we always use never. And if seldom is used with if, then we always use ever. So, as you can see in the given sentence, seldom or ever is used, which is incorrect. It is wrong. Hence, we will replace ever with never. Thus, the correct sentence would be such goods are made for export and are seldom or never used in the country. So, keep this in mind, seldom or never and seldom if ever and seldom or ever is incorrect. These two are correct. Done? Now, moving on. So, is it done? Let's discuss. You have to do it just like I have done it. So, the error lies in option B. So, like is often wrongly used as a conjunction instead of as. So, as is used with subject, whereas like is used with object. So, in the above sentence, I is your subject and hence instead of like, as should be used. Hence, the correct sentence would be you have to do it just as I have done it. So, let's end our lecture for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.